Well, good evening, everyone. It is Thursday, so you know what that means. The last couple of Thursdays, we have had a chance for severe weather, and while technically it's still Thursday, I think our severe weather chances will actually be overnight and into Friday, so we can get right into that. So I just thought I'd start with the current radar, which thankfully most of our storms are well west of Dallas Fort Worth. North of Abilene, severe thunderstorm north of Abilene, as you can see from the polygon. Got some severe storms southwest of Wichita Falls, just northwest of Wichita Falls. And if we expand this out a little bit more, you can see they go on into Oklahoma and then back down toward Big Spring. And we'll put this in motion real quick and let what we can expect. Hello, Amy. Sitting in Vegas airport, hoping to get back. Well, Amy, if your flight is anytime between now and midnight, you're probably going to be okay. But anything after that, I would not. I would not want to chance that. So, but if you're about to take off, you should be good. Excuse me. So, like I said, this is the current radar situation we have. Like I said, nothing to be too excited about at the moment. Really, what we're looking at is an overnight situation where we see storms move through. We'll see a line of storms form. I'll show you the latest model for that here in just a second. But it's not quite as dynamic a system as we saw last time, so that's good. And you remember the week before that, we saw a very intense line of storms. So, not looking for anything like that, but we are looking at a possibility of some severe weather overnight. So let's put this model in motion, and of course this is our go-to model for severe weather, the HRRR as we call it. And so we're going to put this in motion here, and again, this is a radar simulation, and so as you can see, storms will kind of form into a line out west of us during overnight hours, and then potentially fall apart a little bit before it gets to the metroplex, and then start to reform in East Texas. And as you'll see in some of my graphics here in a second, east of us tomorrow, especially, I think definitely going to see a tornado threat tomorrow in the southeastern part of the United States. Louisiana, Mississippi, definitely the southern part of the United States. So let's kind of get this down frame by frame. That's probably a little too far. Okay. So this is the radar simulation from the HRRR at 5 a.m. So that is what we're looking at, potentially 5 a.m. And then you have 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., which ironically is a little bit of a lull, 9 a.m., 10, zoom in on that a little bit, 10 a.m. tomorrow, and 11 and noon. So this only goes out 18 hours. Now, again, as I've always said, radar simulation doesn't mean it's exactly going to be that way, but it could. So it's just something that overall we're looking at the potential of severe weather closer to morning than we thought the last couple model runs, as we've seen. All right, so let's look at the particulars here. So this is the latest severe weather outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. Yellow, of course, slight risk of severe thunderstorms. It's something that, again, it's the 25 miles from a point that you would see, potentially see severe weather overall. Hello, Leslie. Do I need to set up my new hail protector before I go to bed? Well, I don't think it hurt. And Leslie, I'm a big believer that if you set it up, then you will prevent hail from happening. So you go right ahead. But in all seriousness, it probably wouldn't hurt. And then this is a tornado probability. Again, not really expecting a lot of tornadoes out of this event, although it's not totally out of the question. But most of the tornadoes would potentially be northwest of Dallas-Fort Worth, as you can see from the graphic. The good old hail outlook. The hatched area, again, that's at least a 20% chance of seeing hail. 10% chance, of seeing hail within 25 miles of a point that is 2 inches or greater in diameter. Well northwest of Dallas-Fort Worth. And then you see the 15 to 30% chance in yellow, kind of basically the northwest half of Dallas-Fort Worth, and then 5 to 14% in the brown. And this is during overnight hours, so again, you would see potential for hail. And then the wind gust outlook, again, 57 miles an hour or greater, 5% chance. So luckily, that's 5 to 15% chance. It's certainly not zero, but it's definitely a possibility. Now, what I was alluding to earlier is this is the outlook for tomorrow. Now, as you can see, there's a moderate risk well into Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas. So if you do have family members that live in that part of the uh, country, I couldn't think of the word I was looking, then yeah, I'll definitely go ahead and give them a heads up that tomorrow might be a severe weather day for them. And this is a tornado outlook. And again, you have a hatched area for tornadoes, and that is a greater chance of seeing strong tornadoes in that area. Now, ironically, the hail outlook kind of extends back a little bit toward the west, about to Dallas. If you remember in that one model, it showed supercells reforming about 11 a.m. noon just east of Dallas. I think that's why that's included in there. And then the severe wind outlook, again, 57 miles an hour greater. And most of that is well east of North Texas. So again, for tonight, that's the area. As you can tell, most of the severe weather is, it's, you know, the biggest potential for severe weather, I should say, is northwest of Dallas Fort Worth. Doesn't mean we won't see anything, but it's definitely not anything that's too bad as far as probabilities of seeing severe weather. All right, so let's fade back to this. That's the model. Let's go back to the actual radar here, and just making sure I'm not missing any comments while I'm doing this. So again, this is the latest radar, and we'll put the Abilene radar on there now. So again, severe thunderstorm north of Abilene, southwest of Wichita Falls, and we put this in motion. Again, like I said, moving northeast for the most part. Some of these supercells are becoming right movers. That's not uncommon at all. But again, well west of Dallas Fort Worth. So I don't see that that's being a big concern. Probably not till closer to sunrise, to be honest. Now, if we look at a satellite picture, I'm going to refresh this just to make sure. And you can see these storms blowing up just northwest of Dallas Fort Worth, these bright white clouds. That's the anvil tops of the thunderstorms. So again, you can see the general motion that's northeast, and gradually the whole line will shift to the east, and that will give us our chance for severe weather. But again, I don't think it's going to be a huge chance of seeing severe weather. All right, so let's actually go back to this map here. Let's go back here. I'll expand this out a little bit. So again, the bottom line I think for tonight is not much. Probably won't see any storms until again the original thinking a couple of days ago were that we would see storms kind of after midnight, and now the system's kind of slowed down a little bit, and we'll see storms more towards sunrise. So kind of good news, bad news. Good news in the sense that you probably won't be woken up in the middle of the night, but the bad news is that you may have a rough commute in the morning. So just something to watch out for. Thank you, Dak. I appreciate that. I am glad I'm the only weatherman you trust. But we are all we don't all get it right sometimes. That's for sure. And of course, what's causing all this? You can see this on the radar. Is that this cold front that's moving along right here? I say cold front, it's really probably more like a cool front, but that's destabilizing the atmosphere along with this disturbance that's moving across. And so tomorrow, it won't be a blue norther or anything like that. It'll actually, after the front moves through and these storms move through, tomorrow will be really nice. It'll be much drier, won't be near as humid. Might be a little windy in the afternoon. Saturday's looking like a really nice day. Sunday may be a little more cloudy, and the first part of next week, Monday through Wednesday, I think we'll see rather benign weather, certainly for March. So I don't think anybody will be complaining about that. So really not a whole lot to talk about, but I just wanted to kind of come on and give everybody an update on what the latest models we're looking at. And actually, for those of y'all who may just join us, I know you can come back and watch this anytime you want, but we'll put this in motion here. And again, this is the HRRR radar simulation. And again, this starts from now until noon tomorrow. So as you did, so like I said, most of the night you won't see a whole lot of activity, but you'll see this line form. May kind of break up a little bit before it gets to Dallas Fort Worth, then kind of reform, at least potentially east of Dallas Fort Worth. Although, whenever you have these models, they're not perfect, and so while it says maybe some storms will be east of us there, and especially in the last frame, doesn't mean it can't be off by a couple hundred miles. So if that was the case, and especially to the west, and that would obviously put Dallas Fort Worth into the bullseye, but let's hope that doesn't happen. And I'll just stop this frame. Again, that's just for reference, that's 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m. Ironically, not a lot going on, 8 or 9. 10, it kind of cranks up again at 11 and noon. Now, again, I would not take this as this is going to happen for sure, no questions asked. But it's just something, again, I think is something we can expect to see, or at least some form of that. Maybe it won't be as intense. Theoretically, it could be more intense than that. But again, we're not looking at a tornado situation. Not saying we can't have one, but not looking at a big tornado situation. Most of the bigger hail is going to be in the storms tonight, and then as these storms merge, they tend to decrease. That tends to decrease their hail probability and sizes. It becomes more of a wind thing. And for me, I just hope it's, quite frankly, I just hope it's a stormy type situation, just kind of generic stormy, and that's about it. So the bottom line is this: not a whole lot of weather to worry about tonight. I think everybody can go to bed, not have to worry about anything. As Leslie said, if you have hail protectors on for your cars, if they're outside, it probably wouldn't hurt to put them on. But again, I think that we're not looking at a big hail threat, more of a wind threat. But again, things can change pretty rapidly. And then so towards sunrise is, I think, when we will start to see the weather move in. Could be a little bit before, especially if you're west. But probably if you're further west, maybe as early as 4 a.m. and then east, 7, 8, 9 a.m., something like that, give or take. It's like I said, it's hard to pin down exactly. So I don't see any other comments, so I will go ahead and sign off for now. And I'll be keeping everybody up to date. And if you have comments after this, when you watch this video after the fact, then I will definitely look at any comments I need to look at and answer those for you. And with that, as always, I'm watching weather so you don't have to. Hope everyone has a great Thursday evening. Enjoy the nice, calm, mild weather outside. We'll get through these storms in the morning, then we'll have a nice weekend, and then we will go from there. Thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate you.